Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of Jake's Farm. Kind of an abrupt ending, I guess, but it's okay. Everything's okay. The reason why it's very abrupt is because I decided it to be. One of the things being is that I recorded the last couple of videos. And I realized each one of them was like probably, I want to say like 2 minutes, minute and a half long. And I said, you know, that blows having that. So I decided to just condense them all into one big video at the end. And I don't think anyone's gonna complain. So it's just gonna be one large video. Right here we're making a donkey enclosure. I couldn't find another one besides this download, which is a Somali wild ass, which is, it's kind of a funny name for a donkey, even though they are referred as ass. This one in particular has kind of like zebra stripes on its on the bottom of its legs, so that's probably why it's a Somalian one, because it's probably from Somalia. And Somalia is in Africa as well. And, yeah, so that's... Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. No, okay, good. Now I feel all stuffed up. Fuck. Anyway. Another animal that's going to be built in this video, another enclosure that's going to be built is going to be the Clydesdale horse and sheep, and then I'll pretty much go into a little fixer-upper mode where we just kind of go over everything, fix it. Another thing to mention is I did download new duck and geese mods, so they are now in the pond rather than the common eater, which is deep sea duck. So I realized kind of a mistake here, that I didn't point that thing, the enclosure. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that. But I'm surprised I didn't notice that before. But you know. I was also going to have a barn owl exhibit, but I figured I couldn't really fit that in, too, because I wanted to build like a big barn, but I couldn't really figure out a way to make it work where you could look into it, I guess. But anyway, here's the next thing that I recorded, which is the Clydesdale horse. I was just about to start doing like the same thing, then I kind of said, hey, you know, let me do something a little bit different just to kind of get that sort of feeling. These little cells that I kind of develop here, I wind up getting rid of because the pathing that the animals follow don't really account for fences being inside of an enclosure, so they kind of walk into them, and that's not something that's particularly good because then they get stuck and they get hungry and they, you know, get sick, and there's a Somalian wild ass getting out. Thing to note here is that there's a bunch of chickens. These guys reproduce way too fast, and I actually had to take the time to get rid of some of them because they weren't around for too long. As far as in-game hours, probably about 20 minutes they've been in there, and they're already at 20 chickens, and there's only been one rooster, so they reproduce rather rapidly. So yeah. So one of the things I always notice when I look at horse, you know, whatchamacallits, they always have like this round circle of dirt because horses kind of follow the same route, I guess. I don't know if that's true or why there's a circle of dirt in every pasture I've seen, but that's probably, I'm gonna guess that they probably walk relatively the same area, and that's kind of the case with a lot of animals in enclosures. They're not used to being in a one area, so they tend to just kind of follow the same route. That's the case with a lot of sharks in tanks. They do follow the same route because they feel comfortable doing it, or it's just part of their instincts. I'm not really sure how to feel on the whole anti-zoo debate. To be honest, I think zoos do more help than harm in some cases, but then I do believe that in some cases zoos do more harm than help, especially when it comes to how they deal with animal incidents, like the case in Cincinnati. I honestly, I'm not really any animal expert, so I can't really say, but it's something to think about, I guess, right? So here I'm putting on the roof of the stables. I decided to put some concrete there. I kind of remembered inside of inside of a stable they have like concrete. I remember that. I know that's probably a fact. Normally I think horses would have to have horseshoes if there's concrete on the floor, because their hooves are not made for concrete or any hard road surface or rock. So I remember when I was younger, there's an incident where a horse got out and it was running all over the town, and they had to catch it because the hooves were gonna break it because it didn't have any horseshoes on or something like that. And yeah, I don't remember if they caught it or not. I'll probably have to look it up. But yeah. So here we go. I put some food underneath the grass as a way to kind of because that would cause them to bend down and eat the grass, which I think looks cool. So that's the thing that I did. I'm gonna replace that with this short fence. And those are our 3 Clydesdales, and we're gonna be moving on to the Tunis sheep, which was the best sheep download I could find. And as well with this one, is I kind of wanted to go a little bit off the norm, and I kind of built kind of like a little tent thing here, I guess, to have this rather than a whole enclosure. But so yeah, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same as normal. We're gonna have some grass, and we're gonna have a Grandidier's baobab come out of nowhere. And there we go. Those are the sheep. And here you see the issue with the cells that I made is that they get stuck because they don't know how to think. And for somehow the donkeys have been getting out. I'm not really sure how that's done, but oh well. Yeah. So here we see me. We're just finishing up the fences now. So everything. Hello, everyone. Oops, that was I don't even know what that was, but anyway. This has been Jake's Farm. This is going to be the last episode of Jake's Farm, because as you can see, I have completed it. And we're going to do our final walkthrough of the actual park. I did some quick finishes here by putting in all the trees and rocks and plants just to keep everything nice and condensed, I guess. Just to add to that. This is a grassland zoo, so I don't understand why there's cities in the background. It was not a city zoo, but whatever the case. Anyway, we have some pretty angry waterfowl here. In the first video, a person recommended me download these animals, so I went on and did that. And it does look better as a result. I think one of the problems of the lag in this save is mostly due to the massive amount of rocks and plants we have going on here. So I think this is probably one of the best exhibits in the entire zoo, just because of the effort that was put into it. As you can see, the rocks around the whole thing and the plants. It's definitely the most realistic, you know, kind of idea I had, because there's a park that I used to live near that has like this kind of similar thing with geese and ducks. Anyway, we have our food stands here with our desserts. Good, nothing really too big of a deal here. Over here, it appears that something tragic. Oh God, that is just awful. Did it have gravies or something? Fuck, that's terrible. Anyway, we had our farmer's house here that functions as a little place for golden retrievers to live and have fun and kill their family. Not something I ever thought they would do. Here's something that I added before, just another little place for geese. It's a nice little pond area. Over here is a nice another little pond area, but this time it has a waterfall. Over here, I believe this is the second episode. This is the cows. The cows are probably one of my favorites here, just because, I mean, come on, they're cows. I don't know, it's one of the download. One of the things I like about these videos is that they're really showcasing a lot of these downloads that otherwise go kind of unnoticed, because no one really cares about the cow. Oh my god, it's eating. That's cool. No one really cares about the cow. But a lot of people care about all those crazy downloads, but I like the cow, and that's what's important. So anyway, let's move on to another animal. Let's go over to the pigs here. The pigs were another one of my favorite, because you don't really see them. One of the things I found these downloads like to do is when you add more downloads, they like to pause and freeze up and not move and get hungry and die, which is obviously not very good when it comes to you know, building a zoo. So all these are not the original pigs that were in there, and I think they're probably frozen in there as well. I did with this little thing. With this theme zoo, I learned a lot with the whole shelters and things. And I think in the next theme zoo, whatever that may be, I think I might use what I learned here and continued on with it. So here was kind of, I was planning on putting another exhibit here, but I thought it'd be nice to have a nice nature walkway here, which looks really good on guest view, and it looks very, very realistic and nice. Here is where the last animal episode, I believe, or I think that was the sheep, I forget which, but this is the Clydesdale exhibit. Clydesdales are one of my favorite horses. They actually are my favorite horse. They're pretty big, because I always liked big things when I was younger. And yes, that can be taken in any context. But I always liked these guys. I started liking these guys again when Budweiser became a part of my life. No, Budweiser is a terrible, terrible drink, and not just because it's alcohol, but mostly because it just tastes bad. But I still like the horses, though, in the advertisements. And I always liked them because they're big and they have these cool little hooves. They're actually they're typical farmer horse, aren't they? They do that. And let's continue to move on. Let's drop ourselves over this way. I was planning on adding quail, but I felt like it was too close to the chicken. And the chickens repopulate really freaking crazy. I think they lay like, from the time I started this and the time we're at chicken 20 laying eggs. So they lay a lot of eggs, and I only had one rooster in there, and it's a little bit incestuous, you know. So anyway, here we go. Some leaves poking through, no big deal. We have our donkeys. which are also that double as Somalian asses. This was just the first donkey I found, so I thought, oh, it's a donkey, but then I found out it was a Somalian donkey, and things got a little crazy. But I think it looks enough like a regular donkey, and you're never gonna get out of there. What the fuck? Okay, you don't exist. Oh, there's a missing place here. That's a shame. I could have. What I could have done, if I noticed this, I could have just done some zoo decorations here and some nice flower beds. If only I actually did that and, you know, fall through that. You know, this would have looked a lot better if I actually paid attention. So here we go. These are the sheep. These are the best sheep I could find in the domesticated animals section on the wiki, and I think they look good as sheep. So they're good. They're good to me. And they have a nice little shelter here. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short theme zoo. I did make it purposely short because I didn't make it purposely short. I just knew that these exhibits weren't going to be too big and amazing, I guess. Like, it wouldn't be like my Lion King exhibit. That it wouldn't be exhibits to that scale. I kind of knew everything would kind of be contained, and I think I did capture kind of like a farm feeling, I guess. You know, it'd be like, you know, you go into your local farm and, you know, petting some animals. I do wish these were shorter though. I always felt like these fences are too big, but might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. But anyway, once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.